Hi guys, good morning. I'm Jake Mas. So today we discuss about the material science, the major, very basic unit about the alloy and phase diagrams. So in this unit we discuss about the classification of materials, constitution of alloys, solid solution, and substitutional and intentional phase diagram. Isoporous, what is the meaning of isoporous, and what is the meaning of eutotide and peritectile reactions. These are the topic we'll discuss, and one of the major topic is iron carbon diagram and carbon steel and iron cast iron and microstructure on the properties application. So these are the topic we'll discuss in the unit 1 for the material science. Okay, so we'll move on first the classification of materials. So first the classification of materials. So the one of the major materials you talk about that metals. So what is the meaning of metal? Generally it's a highly strong metal, and because of the valence electron are detached from the atoms and spread just around electron C in the glued ion together. So this is the major classification of the metal, and best examples you talk about that aluminum, steel, brass, gold. So these are the major examples for the metals. Next we talk about the semiconductors. So in the semiconductors, what is the meaning of semiconductors? So the meaning of semiconductor is the bonding is a covalent. So the ion are shared between the atoms. So the ion of the bonding will be takes place in the covalent. So the electrons are shared between the atoms. The electric boundary depends upon extremely strong and the minor portion of the constant. So the examples we talk about the silicons. So there is a major examples for the semiconductors. And we move on to the next material is ceramics. What is the meaning of ceramics? Okay. So ceramic materials, we have very easily to classify that because we talk about the atom mostly it will be a positive or negative ions and bonded to the column forces between them. They are usually combination of metals or semiconductor with oxides. For example, if you take it a metal from a silicon, okay, with react with the oxide, so or carbide, so it comes on silicon carbide. Or for example, if you get a boron with the combination of carbide, it's a boron carbide. So likewise, the ceramic material will the combination of metals or semiconductor with that oxygen, nitrogen or carbon. So there will be oxide stage or nitride stage or carbide stage. So this is a combination, it comes under the ceramics. And we move on to the major classification of material. Another one is polymer. So you all know that copolymers is a separate material, and this is completely what is it? Non-corrosion material. The major is it's a non-corrosion material, and the ball and core stress are also very weak in the van der Waals forces and usually based on Hc and other non-metallic elements. And we already know the moderate temperatures between the ranges of 100 to 400 degrees Celsius, and it is a majorly lightweight. So that is one of the major advantages of other polymers. So the major advantage if you see like that, it's a very lightweight and it's highly corrosionate materials, and it has available very abundant materials like we have various types of polymers is there. So polyester, nylons, rubbers, we have various classification. Particularly polymer will be there. Okay. And next we talk about the types of bonding. So you know the meaning of bonding. So we'll be joining like that. So if I talk about one by one bonding, now so first you talk about the ionic bonding. This is a bonding when one of the atom is a negative as an extra electron and another positive. So what happen? It's lost. There is a strong direct column attractive in that conditions. Okay. So there is a mechanism of ionic bonding. So where one is positive, another one is extra, another is negative. So there is a strong, direct in the column attraction with each other. So this type of bonding will be talk about the ionic bonding, and it is a very strong bonding compared to other types of bonding, but ionic bonding is a very strong one. Okay. So now move on to the covalent bonding. So covalent bonding, what is a covalent bonding? The bonding takes place, electrons are shared between the molecules to the saturated the valency. So there is a major now. So what is a covalent bonding? It's a covalent bonding. Electrons are sharing between the molecules to saturate the valency. So the examples of the molecules and the electron spend more time in between the nuclei than the outside. So that produce the bonding. This type of bonding is called as covalent bonding. So next we move on to the another types of bonding is metallic bonding. Okay, so in that bonding, the metallic bondings is encountered in the pure metals and metallic alloys. Okay, so the atom contributes their outer shell of the electron to generally shared electron cloud for the whole block of the material. So what are the types of secondary bonding is there, fluxuary bonding is there, molecular induced bond, dipole bond is there, and permanent dipole bond is there. So these are the bond in the whole metal will be there. That's about the metallic bonding. Okay, and we talk about the crystal structures. So what particularly why you next you talk about that crystal structures. So in the crystal structures, atoms. So the atoms self-organize in the crystal. So generally it's a self-organized crystal, mostly in the time. The crystalline lattice is a period array of an atom when a solid is not a crystalline is called as amorphous. So when a lattice is periodic arrays of the atom and the solid is not a crystalline is called as amorphous. So the meaning is if a self-organized structure will be there. If the self-organized is not there means that's called as amorphous. So example of crystalline solids of the metal is called as stones, ice and graphite. So amorphous material, we could talk about the phases. So amorphous carbon A to C and argon silicon and most plastics. So whenever amorphous is same, what is it? It's not a solid crystalline matter, so it's called as an amorphous. And we talk about the crystal structure about the unit cell. What is the meaning of unit cell? So the unit cell is a simple structure that repeats itself the translation through its crystal. So the meaning is we have a number of grouping of cell, it comes under crystals. So we take it as for example, we take it as a finite element like that. So to a group of elements, we form a cell, it comes under crystal. So that is the meaning of the way. So the most common type of unit cell are faced by the FCC and BCC and HCP. So you already know the phase centrocubic and body centrocubic and also coast packed. So these are the common types of unit cell that are using in the crystal structures.